Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. We are here for a reading. It's not a weekly reading. It's not a midweek reading. It is just a random morning message. I woke up and I just heard the call to do it, so we are doing it. Let's call in our guides and our angels. Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, please open sacred space. Please only allow the highest and widest light messages to come through. Bless me, bless my cards, bless my beautiful viewers. I love you, YouTube fam. I hope this reading makes you go, oh my gosh, I was just doing that today, or I just saw that animal. I love when the readings are exactly what you're needing to hear and it feels good for you. I remember those days when I used to watch readings and everything was like, it's like the person was like in my head. And I'm like, how is this possible? So when you watch these readings, it's actually building your faith and your trust, and you're learning that you can trust yourself. When you get a confirmation back from me or another reader, you're then seeing like, oh, my guides and angels were sending me a message, and then Michelle just confirmed it. So now I don't need Michelle in the future to confirm things because I can trust my inner guidance system. That's what this whole journey is. It's you coming, and I just saw a little fly or like a gnat or something, which I never ever have like bugs in my house. So I feel like that's a little message there. I might have to look up a gnat. I'm pretty sure it was a gnat. And I lost my train of thought. But the whole purpose of our lives is to love ourselves, to come home to who we are, to like not finally, to just share who we are and what we love to do and our special gifts. And the more we can tune out the voices of everybody else and listen to our inner guidance, then we can make decisions on what's the best city to live in, what's the best house to live in, what's the best job to have, what's the best food to eat. It's like you put yourself on an island and you're just with you, and you're able to find out what you need. So as you're here watching these readings, and maybe you're new to my channel and you're new, most of the people that are drawn to me are very, very new and early on the spiritual journey. And some people have been on it for years and they found me, which is cool too. But I would say the more common comments and people that book me are people that are like trying to figure it out. They're like, what does this mean? I'm not sure. I've gotten this for years, or I've seen this sign, or I have to leave my job and I don't know how. So use these readings and all of my content to strengthen your inner guidance system. If I confirm something for you, you need to write it down and say, there was this one time where I was questioning myself, or I got this sign and then Michelle confirmed it. In the future, when I get that sign again, I'm gonna know that I can trust it. If something is telling me to not be in this environment, or I'm getting frogs as a sign that I should leave my job. And I just said frogs, which is so funny because I have a frog ring on today. Isn't he so cute? Um, I don't know why I just said that. I said that unconsciously. Maybe it's because it was on my mind because I put it on my finger, but I wasn't aware of myself when I was saying that. But now I feel like my guides are saying, go use your animal deck because of the frog thing. But when you're getting like those frogs, you can trust that's your guide speaking to you. You're not going to need me anymore to confirm it for you. My job is to get you on your own so that you can navigate life effortlessly and always know that everything is always working out for you. Always, always, always. Even when you feel like you're in a dark hole and you're not getting any signs, you feel like you can't manifest anything, you just feel so disconnected. This is exactly when something's about to arrive, because you're meant to be untethered for a bit to see how strong your faith is. And we have the oyster. So the oyster is all about like, what's inside of an oyster. My earrings, I have pearl earrings in today. Your pearl, your desire, your manifestation is inside this oyster, and you're in the phase where it's being cracked open. And when it's being cracked open, it is so uncomfortable. And I'm being guided to now share a little bit about my experience. Every morning for the past 2 weeks, I've been waking up with new clarity. It's like the universe is slowly cracking me open and awakening me further. We never fully are done with our awakening journey. We're always awakening. So every morning I wake up and I tune in. I'm laying in my bed and I'm like, what am I thinking about? How do I feel today? And today it was like this knowing that I don't need any kind of vice. And I feel like that's why I was maybe drawn to sit down and do this reading, is I want you guys to make a list of all of your vices, all of the things that you lean on, or all of your habits, all of the addictions that you have, right? You wake up in the morning and you're like, I have to have my coffee. If I don't have it, I don't feel settled. That's a vice. So write down coffee. Maybe it's a glass of wine at night. Maybe it's I have to work out or else I don't feel safe or I don't feel like my body's going to maintain. I want you to write down all of these vices. And then I want you to see if you can spend a day not doing all of them. Okay. And what happens is the reason why you're searching for these vices is because there's a feeling inside of you that's wanting to be felt and you're not wanting to feel it. So we avoid by quickly moving. It's like a movement. We're moving to something else so we don't have to sit in the present moment. So I would like to invite you all to see if you can live life without your vices. Challenge yourself. That was my morning thought was, Michelle, you don't need your Starbucks coffee. You don't need coffee. You can make anything. You can have warm water with lemon in it. I have this like yummy, it's like a healthy chocolate, dandelion root, ashwagandha, just a bunch of different stuff in there. There's diatomaceous earth, there's sea moss. Normally I don't drink that every morning. Normally I get coffee. And this morning I was like, you don't need your coffee. You can be without it. You're fine. And I haven't worked out probably in 5 days. And I'm like, I'm fine without it. I don't need it, and it's okay to still do it. But if you're doing it because you think if I don't do this, then something will happen, then it's a vice and you're not free. So the message this morning was the universe and your guides and angels, they want you guys to be free. They don't want you to be dependent on anything, because that means you're not facing something. And you're free when you can be alone for long periods of time and not feel lonely. When you're waking up and you can say no to an addiction, a so-called addiction, you can easily say no to it. And what are some other things? I'm drawing a blank right now. So you wake up, you don't need your vices. How you're free. Sorry. I'm so scattered right now. I don't know what that means. Anyway, the universe wants you to be free. And the scattered brain usually means you're not in the present moment. Thank you. That makes sense now. You're not present. You are always somewhere outside of you thinking about something else that you need to do. You need to be successful. That's another big one, is always giving yourself busy work to do. Like maybe just stop all work for 2 days and literally do nothing. Don't work out. Don't drink coffee. Just be on your couch for 2 days straight and see what comes up. See what feelings comes up. See what emotions, what grief from the past, what new revelations. Because honestly, coffee and all of these other things, they affect your third eye. They affect your ability to connect to spirit and to your guides and angels. So you might be getting messages, but they might not be the clearest messages that you're meant to be getting because you're not clear. So when we recognize that, man, I am leaning on a lot of external things to keep me running, let it all go. Try 1 or 2 days without them. And it's going to be uncomfortable, but can you get comfortable with being uncomfortable? And it really isn't as scary as you think it is. Believe me, I've always, through my grief, oh my gosh, I was obsessed. I had to work out. I had to have certain things. I had to be around my nieces and my nephews. And now it's like, I am totally free from that. Like, I don't need to go to the gym. I don't need to go for a walk. I don't need to escape myself anymore. I can sit with myself and I can feel the feelings. I can't even tell you how many times I've sat on my couch and cried for days at a time in the last 12 years. It's just normal for me, but I don't sit in it too long either. I've learned the balance of it. Okay, this is a Course in Miracles deck. felt guided to use that. All things are lessons God would have me learn. It takes great learning to understand that all things, even all things, events, encounters, and circumstances are helpful. So I could see this as, for me, losing my daughter, that was an event that happened in my life. It is helpful. It is changing me. It's making me better. It's making me connect more to me. Here's the front of the card. So what lessons has life brought you that have made you better? Or what lessons are still showing up in your life? Are you still not forgiving that person? Are you still holding that grudge? Are you still judging other people? You're seeing somebody in a certain outfit out in public and you're judging them. Why? Why can't you say, I love that person and how they're choosing to express themselves? And the way I learned to do this was I learned to see everybody as like 10 years old. I look at every adult, every human that I see, and I picture them 10. And I picture them dressing the way that they want to dress. And I'm coming up to them and being like, oh my God, you're so cute. I love that you chose to wear those pants today. They look so great on you. And that's where I'm coming from when I come in contact with adults. And if I'm complimenting their personality or how they're showing up in the world or how they were just really kind and opened the door for somebody, like if a stranger does a kind act, I am so quick to acknowledge it and admire and say, that was really nice of you to do that. You didn't have to do that. Be like, I see you. I'm like stuttering a lot today. This is very interesting. I feel like I have a unique energy with me. But these lessons, certain struggles in your life are going to make you better. They're going to make you that more compassionate person. So how can you allow it to? I just heard we have to allow the struggle, allow the lesson to come through the struggle. It's almost like we want to shove it down. And a lot of times we're shoving it down because we're tapping into our vices. We're not allowing that goodness to come out of us. Instead, we're shoving it down, saying, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel this. I'm just going to have another glass of wine. I'm just going to have more candy. I'm just going to, have another ice cream cone, or I'm going to distract myself by calling my friends because I don't want to sit with myself. And we have to learn to say no to that and to say, I'm more important. My life, my path is more important. So I'm going to say no to this thing that hinders my body from feeling good. And I'm going to say no to these people that are just a distraction from what I'm really here to do. And you're going to connect to the lessons you came here to learn. Okay, this is the deck from Abraham Hicks. The first card we got was Welcome to Planet Earth. You are here to seek joy. It says, if we were talking to you on your first day here, we would say, welcome to planet Earth. There is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. And your work here, your lifetime career, is to seek joy. As you think thoughts that feel good to you, you will be in harmony with who you really are. And in doing so, you will utilize your profound freedom. That is the lesson of today. Seek joy first, and all of your growth that you could ever imagine will come joyously and abundantly onto you. Really beautiful message. So if you want freedom, seek joy, put down your vices, accept all lessons as blessings. And that's when the oyster's being cracked open, because you're literally finally looking at yourself. Man, I keep stuttering. You're finally looking at yourself and you're really like, yes, I did it. I went through this tough thing and I'm going to allow the grief to be here. Or I hate the fact that I had to witness my dad or mom or sibling or grandmother or grandfather. I hate that I had to watch them die or watch their body deteriorate. It breaks my heart. I can't believe I went through that. But you acknowledge it and you actually feel it. I really don't know why I'm stuttering so much. Maybe it's because I haven't had coffee. I don't care. I'm going to let my body realign. That would be funny though, if that was like a side effect of me just kind of my brain not functioning properly because it didn't get its normal drug. But I don't do coffee every day, so I don't know if it would be that. Okay, we have the Panther. Protection. It says, consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away to freely. Looks like my sweatshirt, all the different colors. Look at his eyes too. I see this as the heart chakra. So it's almost like you have such a big heart and you give your energy away so freely to people. Really look at, I always like to look at what's missing. Like when you're in connection with anybody, it could be somebody you're working with, a friend, a partner, always look for what's missing. Say like, what would you have said here? Like, would you have said, thank you so much for reaching out and checking on me? Or thank you for opening that door for me? Or you're just like this gracious person. If that's missing in the person that you're interacting with, you have to ask yourself, like, why do I keep giving to somebody who's only taking? They're never, ever, ever supporting me. They're never, maybe you have a social media account and you're trying to push your business or something, right? And you've helped somebody else do it for them, but they're not doing it in return. It's like, are they just unconscious and unaware of it and they're so busy in their own business? That's okay. But if they're really a great friend, they will want to see how your business is doing. They'll want to check on you and they'll like your videos and they'll comment and say, way to go, keep going, or they'll share it. That's somebody who's really has a big heart chakra. So somebody who's not doing that, that means their heart chakra could be blocked. And I know when I connect with certain people, because I'm clairsentient, which means I can feel things, when I'm on a Zoom with somebody or connecting with somebody, or even just walking past a stranger, if my heart pounds out of my chest, that is a sign that that person's heart chakra is blocked. It feels like I'm hitting a wall. And it's so painful to be around because I'm just like, I can't handle this. My whole nervous system shakes. And it's because my soft, warm heart doesn't feel safe around this cold heart. And they're not a bad person. Okay. This can happen to your loved ones who you love so deeply, but they're just so closed off because something broke them when they were little. Something made them feel so unloved. Maybe they were neglected, abandoned. Maybe they were, somebody cheated on them in high school, but something made them close up their hearts so, so tight that you then feel it. So when you're sharing yourself with people, right? And you're saying like, I give so much to this person and they don't give me anything back. You have a choice now. You get to choose to pull back your energy and say, I'm no longer going to give it anymore. And that's what the Panther is saying is protect yourself. Don't give your energy away where it's not reciprocated. And if this person is not capable of reciprocating, that's okay. Love them where they are. And you can still give to them and support them because you see where they are and you see that they are wanting to open up that heart, but they just don't know how, then stay by their side and continue to help them. But if it's somebody who's not on a healing journey and they are just taking from you and abusing your love and you tell them no and you see their true colors, that's when you have to clear the clutter. You have to push those people out of your reality. And not physically, obviously, you're just kind of like gradually pulling away. So clear the clutter, get rid of your vices, move away from people who are abusing your energy and taking from you. My big thing is if somebody's not reaching out to me and asking me about my life, then it's not like a reciprocal friendship. That's truly what connection is it works both ways. If it's only one-sided, if you're somebody who's literally entertaining a partnership right now, where somebody's never asking you questions and you're just showing up and being the bright light and wanting to lift them up every single day, you're in the wrong spot. That could be like a dead end kind of ego construct narcissist, and not in a negative way. It's just who they are and where they are. They don't want to grow. They don't want to learn. They literally will tell you that they don't want to have those conversations, or they will not tell you, but then show you through their actions by just walking away from you or just not responding to your texts. That's their way of saying, I'm not interested in this, but you keep going to it because maybe it's something that you're used to from childhood. Okay, now we have a past loved one is here. Let's ask who is here. And I brought all of my decks out. I have my little bin over here. with all of my decks. So today I was feeling called that we're just going to maybe pull cards from maybe every single deck. I've been doing one card so far. But let's ask, who is here? What loved one is here? What deck would be good for that? That would be cool. I just had an idea. Wouldn't it be cool if I created a deck that said mom, dad, grandmother, brother, sister, and then like spirit could like have me, or spirit could pull the card, and if that person came out, whether they're living or not, the message is for them or about them. That's a really cool idea. And I know a lot of people write their own cards. I'm sure you guys have seen that on YouTube. People like take out just like note cards and they write their own messages on it instead of like formally creating their own like I did. But I like to be creative, so I would like to make it pretty and stuff. Okay, so a past loved one is here and they're telling you a message. Don't know who it is, but this is a woman figure, so maybe it might be a grandmother or a mother. Remember that your true nature is spiritual and not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. So this grandmother energy, it feels like a grandmother energy to me. A past grandmother is here to say that she has actually, I just heard she's the one in the family that also held the spiritual gifts. And she's now passing them down to you. And she wants you to use them. And she wants you to get out of your vices because they've been blocking your gifts. Let's get another message. I forget the name of this deck. This was also gifted to me by one of my clients. I feel bad not giving you guys the name, so I'm going to look it up real fast. I have all my books here, so I should. Okay, here we go. It's called Spirit Messages, Daily Guidance Oracle, John Holland. So if anybody wants to get this deck after you see it, the card we get, if you like it. I remember I used to always watch readers and they would never say the names of the decks and they would never really talk about where they got them from or anything. So I like to be different and I like to actually tell you guys. I'm sure if you notice, every time I pull cards, I always mention the deck that's in my hands. I do that for a reason. So we have two cards. Hello from Heaven. Oh, and Stand Your Ground. This one's like all signs. There's a dragonfly, a butterfly, coins, feathers. Okay, it says, your loved ones in the spirit world want to connect with you. Wow, we got two messages. As much as you want to connect with them, they know you've been thinking of them and they're sending you signs and symbols to show you how much they love you and to prove they're with you at this time. Okay, so now I'm like, all right, now I know why I was guided this morning to do this reading. Something was moving me. Your loved ones who've passed away, whoever it is, it could be a dad, it could be a grandmother, but you are being shown that they're with you and they love you and they want to help you. I know a big piece for me is when I ask for spirit to move me to do things that are difficult, like if I wanted to really like give up coffee completely, I would say, universe, please jump in my body tomorrow morning and make it so easy to say no. Make it so easy. Give me another yummy drink to drink that won't put those same chemicals in my body, but will make me feel like I'm enjoying my morning still. And you ask for spirit to move you. Okay, now we have Stand Your Ground. This sounds like a boundaries card, but let's see. Standing your ground is an empowering confidence, building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it. And you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. You can cut out your vices. You can be free. I want you guys to know what it's like to be on that other side of not needing something. You don't need validation. You don't need that drug. You don't need that drink. You don't need that food. You don't need that workout. You can literally sit there and be by yourself and be okay. We have to get used to this. I was even watching podcasts in the past week. Sorry, I just want to check my niece. We're supposed to go shopping this morning. I was watching this podcast about fascia and about your body and how it's so important to release the fascia and open up space. And, if we're right-handed, we're always leaning on our right side, doing things with our right side. We have to then balance that back out and maybe open up and stretch up the right side of our body. And when we breathe from the diaphragm and we get really deep into our breathing, we're giving ourselves 600% more oxygen and nutrients than we are when we're unconsciously breathing, when we're just doing our normal breathing. So that's why breath work is so popular, because you're literally giving your cells the nutrients to battle diseases, to battle certain illnesses. So when we say no to our vices, we're also saying yes to those cells, right? We're allowing them the time that they need to regenerate from having all of the toxins in our body, from living in that stressed fight or flight state, always needing to go somewhere, always needing to do something. When you just sit and rest for 2 days, can you imagine what that does to your cells? They're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? We finally get to lay down and do nothing, and we can just literally rest. Your body wants that too. So if you have any kind of illness, if you have autoimmune, fasting, sleeping, all of that is going to literally accelerate your healing. And I was watching these podcasts, and this one woman was talking about how we don't need all of these supplements. We don't need collagen. If our body is working the way it's meant to be working, it doesn't need supplements, unless, there's a case where you're eating certain foods, and we know that there's chemicals in our foods now, so our body might not be able to pull in those nutrients. So now, because of the way our world is, we are called for supplements. But if we can really track what we're eating and only put good food in, we really don't need to supplement. And your body will tell you what it needs it'll signal it to you. It'll give you a little ailment. I learned this really cool thing. I actually posted the podcast on my community page, but I was having like right ankle pain, and it almost was like going up into my shin, like almost like a stress fracture feeling. But my right ankle just has felt really unstable. Like when I walk on it a certain way, or when I push off on my toes, I feel like an internal inside my right ankle. I feel something like weird. So I've been doing research on how to heal it myself and not go to a doctor. And I love what I'm learning. So this woman was telling me about the fascia in your feet. Your feet are like, she called it like your walk to death. If you don't take care of your feet, your whole body, your whole foundation of your body is going to suffer. So what you do is you take your toes and you practice spreading them out every single day. So every morning when you're standing there brushing your teeth, like really try to spread your toes out when you're standing. Try to be barefoot as much as you can. And she talks about how you take your toes and you put your finger and you press really hard between each toe, and you hold it for about 3 minutes, and it releases. You're releasing the fascia. You're moving the fascia that has been tightly bound, because you've never done this before. You've never put pressure there. So as you put pressure on in between each toe, oh my gosh, when I was stretching, like my ankle could only go back like maybe that far. I did the pressure points with my toes, and afterwards, I was able to flex my foot all the way back. I was like, oh my gosh, the mobility in my ankle is 10 times better. I'm like, I am doing this before every workout. Literally, I don't care if I'm in the gym, but I'm going to take my shoes and socks off. I'm going to do that with my toes. And it moves and it gives your muscles, and it just moves all the nutrients to the cells so that the cells can function properly. It's just like kind of like, I just thought of the Wizard of Oz and the Tin Man and giving him the oil that he needs. When you're putting pressure on the fascia, think about all the juice going to all those dry parts in your body that feel stiff and tight. Now they have that juice and that oxygen, and they can flow and they can move. So it's so wild how we can heal ourselves just by touching ourselves. And here we are thinking we need to go to a doctor and then put medicine, or get all these different treatments, but we have the answers within us. And I loved that podcast. If you're curious which podcast it was, I posted it on my community page. And it's funny that this says, I just realized this, it says stand your ground. Literally stand. Spirit, you're so funny. Or whoever's loved one that is here. Okay, we have the World card. A brilliant success, a time of joyful accomplishment and spiritual enlightenment. Freedom, again, freedom to do whatever you want, be proud of yourself. So if you are, to me, the ultimate success would be that freedom, that sense of I am safe wherever I am. Put me in any environment, any icky situation, and I know that I don't need to run from it. I know who I am. I know my boundaries. I know I don't need alcohol to survive in this environment. I don't need to loosen up. And for me personally, I do get anxious when I have to speak to people or like groups of people, or but it's natural. Like I'm always going to feel that way. It's just going to get easier and easier. But like ultimate freedom is knowing that like you can really be anywhere and work through those feelings and sit with the discomfort and just be like, this is it. This is part of my path. This is how I'm meant to feel. And that's ultimate freedom to me, is knowing that I'm not trapped anywhere. I don't need something to get me out of something, which is the vices. Okay. This is my deck, the Ever Unfolding Heart, that I created. It's available on my website. Your current decisions are creating your future. Choose to set yourself up to feel good. Holy shit. Talk about addictions. It's time to let them go. Your current decisions. That is hilarious. This is like a really clear, different type of reading. And this is an angel deck that I got for my client. Again, I don't know the name of it. Sorry, guys. Child. Sorry, these cards are like really hard to read. If you can see like how light it is. I think it says you care deeply about children and they readily respond to your love. That's so me. Who else out there loves kids? All children, including your own inner child, require love, affection, and attention. We can clear and open your heart and schedule so that you can give more time and energy to the children who need you. I love this. I've been asking Spirit and the universe to bring me opportunities to volunteer. I want to volunteer with kids somewhere and just be around them and play and laugh because they bring out like another side of me. They make me feel like I can be, they bring out my inner child more. I feel more safe with them to be that inner me. So if you're like me, and we have a lot of orange here, I just noticed this. So orange is the sacral chakra. That's your creative center, your sensual center. So this is kind of saying like when you feel lit up by the people that you're around, when you're donating your time, when you're being creative, when you're listening for the signs from your spirit family, you're really connected to that area. You're really connected to your sacral. And you're being of service in a way that feels good and it feels impactful. And a lot of your serotonin comes from your intestines. So that's in that area as well. So if you're eating poor foods, your second brain is in your intestines, it's in your gut. And when you are fueling with good food, you're getting that serotonin. It's not just from your brain, it's from your gut. So if you put unhealthy food in your body, the next morning, I guarantee you, you're going to feel a little like, I don't feel like doing this. I feel like sleeping all day. It 100% affects your moods and your energy. So whatever you have in your gut is going to affect your brain health. Always remember that. So again, with the addictions, it's all connected. It's connecting to whether you're allowed to connect with spirit. These vices, it's affecting whether you're showing up in the world and donating your time and volunteering. It's like make sure that you're making decisions every single day that are really setting yourself up to feel so needed and purposeful and lit up. And it's that joy. You want to feel that joy. When we get caught thinking we only are supposed to do one thing all day long, like work, we're losing the whole purpose of life. We're so versatile. We can be and go and do so many different things. And sometimes we have to go replenish our energy by being around certain people that light us up. Okay, the koala spirit. Spirit has a plan, number 35. So if you're not quite sure, like remember I said earlier that I'm asking spirit to bring me an opportunity. I'm not just going out there and forcing it to happen. I want to be where I'm needed. I don't want to just put myself in a situation that's not really where I'm supposed to be. Excuse me. And we can do that because if we have free will. And if we don't get feedback in that place and we don't feel lit up there, then we're not meant to be there. So spirit will have a plan. It will guide you to where you're meant to be. So always, always, always ask before you do something because you want to get that confirmation that it's really for your highest and for everybody else's highest involved. Okay, now we're going to do my messages for money deck. What does money want to tell my viewers today? You activate me when you nap. I think that was the only one that flipped. Yeah. So again, rest, rest, rest. The more you sleep, the more you let your cells regenerate and heal and rest. And do you know what that does to your vibration? It literally makes you like the brightest sun on the planet. SUN. It makes your energy so incredibly bright that you literally could manifest anything instantly. When our light is dim and we're feeling heavy from the chemicals and the food and the lack of sleep and the busy, 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 the fight or flight, we're not able to manifest. So we need to be in our highest vibration. And when I say highest vibration, I don't mean your highest mood, being so happy, so joyful. I mean being completely peaceful and having zero stress in your body, allowing all the cells to open up, working on your fascia, maybe doing lymphatic drainage. You're nurturing the heck out of your body because you know that it's your magnet. That's how you're calling in desires is through your body. Okay, so let's do, I like doing one card from each deck, so I'm going to keep doing that depending on how much time we have. My niece has not texted me yet, so I wonder if she is still sleeping. It's already 9:50. That's, I guess not, it's not too late for a preteen. They're in that resting and growing phase. Okay, so we have the moon card. Look at it, it's a pink moon too. I love the pink energy. So the first thing I just felt when I just moved that card over here next to activate me when you nap, which is also pink, it's almost like the soft energy of the heart chakra is green, right? The pink energy to me feels like the high heart. It feels like it feels like an energy of joy and an energy of softness, and it's like flowers. They're like delicate, they're pretty. And it's almost like the moon is saying that like maybe somebody's in a really delicate time right now. You feel so lost in your life, you feel so ungrounded. The moon represents deep emotions. So this is saying like please be so gentle with yourself. And I just got somebody commenting saying yes. So that's confirmation. They're commenting on a YouTube video. So be so gentle with yourself. When these emotions surface, when you get rid of your vices and you actually sit with yourself, it can be really jarring to realize like everything that you've been through in your life, and you can actually start to feel it for the first time ever. And it's a brave act. And when you sit with it, you don't have to fear it. Just let yourself cry. And if you cry for 2 hours, that's perfect. The more you cry, the more you release it. Okay, so always remember that. It's like a water bottle that's filled to the brim, and you're so stressed and you're go, 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 and you're not calmed down and you're trying to manifest and nothing's working. Well, think about it. You want to be able to dump that water bottle out to create space for new water, new abundance, new love, new things to pour into that cup or that bottle. And when you're pouring the bottle out, it can be really delicate. It can be like you don't want to let it go, because now if you finally feel it, it makes you feel like you're further and further. My left ear is totally ringing right now. Ah, oh man, it's so loud. that's feminine. Left side is feminine. So it's like you feel like you're moving further and further away from your loved one that has passed. I knew for me, when I really started to feel my feelings when my daughter passed away, I was like, oh no, like I feel like I'm losing her. I feel like it's like if I finally have to kind of move on, then I'm losing her. And it's so emotional and it's so delicate and it's so gentle. And the pink also represents that feminine energy. So somebody out there might have lost somebody who's a feminine, and you're scared to feel the feelings because then you might feel like you actually have to let go. Or when you heal, it's like you can't, or maybe you actually have to really just face the fact that it happened and it's really too much. Give yourself some grace, okay? It's not, there's no pressure to do it right now. It will surface when it's ready, okay? Let's do some Spirit Song Tarot. Too many cards. And I'm going to pull a card from my bin too. Wow, we have the Emperor, the divine masculine energy. Focus and stability. So this could also mean that the divine masculines, when I get the Emperor card in a reading, it's always kind of like, hey, the divine masculine, the collective, our collective world needs to move out of that go, 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 do. I need to perform to be loved. I'm mindlessly working and thinking that I'm being productive, but I'm really not. We need to move into the pink energy, into the green ray, the heart chakra, the high heart with the pink. We need to move into that softer, gentle, more loving energy on our planet. So this is a perfect little topper to that thing we just talked about being gentle with ourselves and knowing that it's okay to feel our emotions, and it's okay to sit with the fact that we experience trauma and loss and pain and illness and suffering. And I know for me, like having the visions of my dad when he was passing away and watching his body deteriorate, like it's just not, it doesn't feel human. It doesn't feel like we're supposed to watch that, but yet it is so human. You know, it's part of our experience. And it's part of why we jumped into these bodies, is to experience what happens at birth, what happens at death, what happens in between. But it feels so painful because it's somebody that we love and we're watching them literally deteriorate, and it's just their physical form, it's not their soul, but yet we can't still talk to them. You know, I remember I had to make the decision. It was 1 a.m. and I was in the hospital in hospice with my dad, and I'm the youngest, so I always feel like I'm the most incapable one. They always called me the baby, and to me that is like, Michelle can't do it, let's have somebody else do it for her. So I have that program. So here I am, the baby, taking care of the big guy and he's really struggling to breathe, like it's so painful. And I had to make the decision to say, like, yeah, he needs medicine, which means I'll never be able to talk to my dad again. So watching somebody's body deteriorate, it's not so much like their soul is still there, and I know he could still hear me, but like I had to be the one to say, like, he's in so much pain, I don't want him to suffer anymore, but I also don't. I didn't want to say yes to it because that means I would lose my dad. So somebody out there, you guys are experiencing this too. Like, you're going through a time where you're watching people you love go through difficult things, and you're watching them suffer, and it's not easy. And we need to be in this energy. We need to be in that pink energy where it's delicate, it's soft, and we have to understand that not everybody has an open heart chakra. Not everybody's going to cry with me while watching this, because they don't have the capacity to go there because it's too painful, and that's okay. But we also have to be aware that if somebody's judging us because we feel these things and they think we are weak or whatever it is, it's just their inability to reach that level of depth in their heart, and that's okay. We have to forgive them. Because maybe what they went through is really, really awful, and they don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. But if you're going through that experience of having to make big decisions, or maybe you have in the past and you just haven't thought about it, and listening to me talk about my experience with my dad in 2021, that might stir up some feelings for you, that might open up that wound, and it's okay. It wants to be open. Your cells want to move that energy out, and me crying about it is good. It's healthy. You know, the holiday season brings a lot of emotions up because as humans, we create this story that the holidays are meant to be spent with loved ones. And when we've lost loved ones, it feels like a loss, like, oh, wait, I have to suffer now because this is the time of year where I'm supposed to be spending time with somebody and that person's not here anymore. So then it creates more emotions. When if it was just a regular day, we wouldn't be like making it such a big deal. So it's almost like we create the monster ourselves in our society by celebrating holidays and making it really bigger than it is. But it is a time of joy and it is a time of love. And when those people aren't here, or maybe we're realizing that, man, this sucks that they're not here this year, or they are in a hospital right now and they can't be with us on the holiday. And it's just, I just want to send anybody a hug right now. Um, I just want to I hope everybody can hold space for each other on my channel and comment and support each other, because it is not easy to experience that kind of suffering, watching somebody else suffer, knowing that somebody else passed away in your reality. And now you're watching your child, your aunt, your uncle, your husband, your wife, your kids, you're watching them suffer because they lost someone close to them. That is so painful. And that's where we need to stop everything. We need to put the coffee down. We need to put the alcohol down, and we need to feel these feelings, because if you don't feel it now, it's going to surface through disease, through illness 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 2 years from now. So we need to purge this energy out of our body now. And the best way to do that is to take a nap, to lay on your couch, lay in your bed, and just tell the world, see ya, I can't talk to you right now. I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm going to take care of my feelings. Okay, let's do let's do the Work Your Light deck. I haven't used this in a while. Work Your Light. And thank you all for holding space for me when I was just crying about my dad. It was one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make in my entire life. With that, and I also was put in the same position with my daughter. I had to decide whether to take her off of oxygen or not. And I had a partner at the time to do that with, so that was super helpful. But being put in that position to have somebody's life in your hands kind of is just, looking back, I wish I would have had my faith and trust in the universe and my angels and guides back then, because I would have said, guide me to make this decision. I don't know how to do this. Please show me the way. I didn't have those tools back then, but with my dad, I did. You're being celebrated. Warrior woman. It says, have you answered your deepest calling? So this is you showing up, being who you are, feeling your feelings, knowing that you're a warrior. Everything that you've been through, the losses that you're experiencing or have experienced, the pain, the illness, the suffering, you are a freaking warrior. And when you sit in stillness, you start to see that. You start to see how strong you are. You start to see that, oh my gosh, I've been through so much in my life and I made it. And I'm not going to let anybody else with a cold heart tell me that I'm not allowed to feel. That's what's wrong with our world, is everyone wants to shove down their emotions and not feel, when it's the best thing for you, because you get to see what you're made of. You get to really see and feel into, all right, I'm going to sit with this pain and I'm going to cut through it like a sword, and I'm going to allow it to be here, and I'm going to let it transform me. This pain does not own me. It is not a part of me. It's moving through me so that it can set me free. So beautiful. I've never said that before. That was total channeled message. Okay, now we're going to use Tosha Silver's Abundance deck. And this is abundance in life and joy and peace and love. It's not just money abundance. Oh, we have two. Individuality and grief. Tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. You guys, I was just talking about a cold heart. Oh my gosh, guides, you are so good today. You are so good. I love you. Oh my gosh, you can't beat this. You cannot beat this magic. Tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. We have to let it out. Mic drop. Gosh, I love doing this. Do you guys feel this right now? Do you feel so good when these things happen in these readings? Okay, let's see what individuality says. There's a bunch of birds. Every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. Yes. So don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like a victim because of all the things you've gone through. Feel it. See that you are a warrior and you chose it. When this says every person has their own personalized study plan, that means before you jumped into your body, before I jumped into my body, I knew that my daughter was going to pass away. My dad was going to pass away. I was going to have to be the one to make the decision to help them transition. And it's actually a gift now. Like I got to be there with both of them when their soul chose that. But my human self couldn't handle it at the moment. But looking back, my spiritual self, my soul was like, I got you. I'll be the one to do this. I'll be the one to help you move back home into the spirit world. So each person in your life, each situation, each illness, each hard, terrible, tragic thing that you've been through was part of your plan. You chose it to make you better. So we cannot sit and stay in this victimhood, but the victimhood comes from not feeling the feelings. So when you don't fully feel it, you still feel victim. When you finally feel it, you step into her. You're like, damn, look what I've been through. I'm so strong. I let the feelings out. I feel free in my body. And a lot of people have a lot of vices and they're very busy throughout the day because they don't want to feel it. And then they don't realize how amazing they are and that they chose it. And they stay in this victimhood of poor me. I can't believe this happened to me. And they're always underlying in conversations looking for comfort and saving and I don't know, you're just always looking to be saved. So if you have the savior complex, there's feelings inside of you that have not been felt yet. And I guarantee you, if you just sit in silence for a couple days, it will surface. You will get answers, okay? Still nothing from my niece. Okay, we're gonna do Kyle Gray's deck. It is called the Angel Guide Oracle Book. Again with the orange, I just realized that there's been so much orange, which is the sacral energy. Strength and guidance. I'm going to read this one to you guys. It's really beautiful. Again, just like my sweatshirt. Strength and guidance. I don't know if it's an alpha. Oh, I just opened up to joy and contentment. Be here now. Okay, maybe it's in, yeah, I think it's in alphabetical order. Strength and guidance. Don't underestimate the power of your soul. You are a strong and resilient soul with the capacity to rise above any challenge. Divine intervention is taking place at this time. Whatever is occurring in your life is providing a real learning curve for your soul. You are becoming more and more aware of what will lead you to fulfill your purpose and what will divert you from your joy. Your angel guide is encouraging you to recognize that the feelings that are coming to you now are guidance that will help you understand the steps you need to take and the moves that you need to make in order to be aligned with abundance and support. So those feelings that are going to surface are going to bring you this strength. It's going to bring you your next steps. You're going to be like, okay, I now know that I went through this because maybe I'm supposed to use it to help other people. So your pain is going to turn into your purpose. As we've heard so many times from all these motivational speakers, your pain is your purpose. But we have to feel the pain first so we can understand it so that we can help others with it. You know, most of the spiritual awakening teachers out there and readers, they've gone through it. They've gone through a spiritual awakening. So that's why they're teaching about it. You know, a lot of people have gone through grief. and they're teaching and writing books about it. It's because they walk the path. So what is the thing that you've been through that you can help others with? That's one of the main reasons why you're here watching readings, is you're trying to figure out your path. You're trying to understand it all. And when you sit with your own feelings, you release, I like to call them cinder blocks. It's kind of like the cold heart melting the ice. I like to see it as cinder blocks that have been weighing us down our whole life. When we cry, we finally release them. And guess what? Now we have all this space. We're like, oh, I feel light. I just want to go do sprints and run around and dance and sing and play. And you just feel new. And you're like, I'm not bogged down by that heavy grief anymore. And when you're brand new like that and clear, guess what happens? Your chakra system is moving and energy is flowing out your crown, and you're so connected to spirit. So you get downloads, you get ideas to do things, you trust your inner guidance. And it's like this flow of energy. I always think of the High Priestess card in, it's another pink card. Let's see if I can find it real fast. In Chris Anne's Light Seers Tarot deck. But it's such a beautiful card because it symbolizes the connection to spirit. It's coming, not that one. High Priestess, where are you? Let's try again. Spirit, can you help me find this card? But it's a pink channel from the top of her head to spirit. And she is just opening the channel so she can connect with her guides and her angels. And when you're clogged and like all bogged down by grief and energy and all these things, you can't fully connect. Okay, if I can't find it after this one, which is crazy if I can't, because I literally have gone through the whole deck. Oh my God, this is wild. Okay, we're not meant to see it. High Priestess, where are you? I never want to give up. It's a pink card too, okay, giving up, letting it go. Michelle, don't grip. But anyway, it opens up your channel to spirit. And you have more space in your body. This is the Angels of Abundance deck. Focus on your priorities. It says, when you put your focus, where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling to you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention they and you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you feel better and more confident. Sorry, I'm struggling to read today because the words are so tiny on these cards and I don't have my glasses available. So again, what is a distraction? What vice, what person, what place is distracting you from your priorities? This reading is saying we need to get our shit together and we need to sit with our feelings and figure out, what am I really here to do? What is my purpose? How can I stop all distractions, stop all work, stop all socializing, and sit with myself and say, Spirit, show me. Spirit, show me. And sit in a meditation every day until you feel like you're getting something, until you're jotting down. Maybe you're free writing and you're just allowing spirit to use your hands to speak to you. You can ask questions in that form too. You can say, Spirit, what am I supposed to be doing? And see what your hand does. It's called automatic writing. I used to do that all the time. And they say if you do it with pencil holds lead holds a higher vibration than ink. So they say pencil is always better to journal with. Okay, we have 3 cards. This is Archangel Michael's Sword of Light deck. We have moving towards the light, number 32. Yep. So as you come out of that cold heart and you open up your energy, you're moving towards the light. You're realizing that I am the creator, number 11. That your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions are creating your future. Oh, and I love this. Number 12, you're never alone. And that's a woman. At first I thought it was Jesus, but that's a woman behind you. So again, that loved one is a feminine energy that's here for somebody. Could also be a masculine though, because I talked about a masculine earlier, but you're not alone. Spirit is going to guide you every step of this way. I know spiritual awakenings, we can feel really alone. We cannot understand what's happening to our physical body. Maybe we feel heat in our body. Maybe we feel headaches. Maybe we feel restless legs. Awakening has so many symptoms, and it's your energy body literally purging all the muck, and it's got to purge out through the pain body. We have to experience pain to get that energy out, just like we cry it out. We might have ailments, through the last 6 years, I've had so many symptoms that were like weird, but they didn't last long. It was like my body purging something. Like when my dad was dying, I had these like welts on my shins, and that was representing the root chakra, my instability. He was my root. He was my foundation in my life. He was my safety net, and I was about to lose it. In my human mind, I was thinking that. So my body was feeling so nervous, like I can't handle this. I can't handle this. And I literally ended up having like these, at first I was like, is this like a bacterial infection? I don't know what this is, but it was like weird welts on my shins, and it was just on my shins. And then after a week, it was gone, but my body was purging some sort of energy. So those things will happen. Your body's an intelligence, and it will bring things to the surface. And when that happened to me, I went and healed it. Like I went to my mentor and said, hey, I'm having this ailment. Can we work on my root chakra? And I got sessions done on my root chakra to help me handle what was happening to me in life. So, and that's another reason why the body is so important to pay attention to it, because it's assisting you. It is showing you where the emotional and spiritual work needs to happen in the body. And then you go to that chakra and you get work done on it, or you give yourself Reiki. And if you're unfamiliar with chakras and Reiki, I highly recommend educating yourself, because that is the root of the whole spiritual path. You need to understand chakras, because if you don't understand chakras, you're not going to understand the symptoms in your body. And your body is everything. So if you can connect, if you have a sty in your eye, you're immediately going to know, okay, that's my third eye. Something's going on around there. Let me look this up and let me figure out how to purify it, how to clear it out. What does it mean? Does it mean I'm struggling with something in my life? And then you address the thing that you're struggling with, or you give yourself compassion for it. Everything is like it's like a table of contents. It's like a key for you. Your body is like a key, and it's pointing you what page in the book to go to learn to fix the problem. So I highly recommend, please go learn about the chakras if you're not familiar with them. When I first started on this journey, they intimidated the hell out of me. I was like, I don't know what a chakra is. I don't know. This whole system seems too big to learn. And I just didn't do it. I just put it off and ignored it. And back then I was so timid with learning new things. But then I slowly just started to learn more. I would pick one chakra a day and I would just learn about it. I'd be like, okay, what is the root chakra? What does this mean? And I would look it up, and I learned the color, and I learned the ailments that come along with it. And I didn't feel so overwhelmed. So I highly recommend doing that for somebody out there. Okay, let's do what deck haven't we done yet? Did that. Did the Course in Miracles. It's kind of off topic, but if anyone has a special person, we're going to do what your special person wants to tell you. It's a Hidden Truth Oracle. We will be together again. So many things remind me of you. Let's get two more. So if you were looking for confirmation on somebody that you've been thinking about, you will be together again. And they are getting signs of this. And that means normally what happens in these connections is the universe bombards one person with all of these signs about the other person, and it makes them so uncomfortable that they have to take action. I want to be more than friends. So maybe this person is already a friend in your life, or maybe they friend zoned you, and now they're realizing, oh shit, what was I doing? Like, this is my dream guy or my dream girl. You're everything I've ever wanted, and I friend zoned you? Like, what? I don't react when people mention you, so they keep a cool, calm face, and I look for you everywhere. This could also mean that they see you in other people. They see people that look like you. Okay. Last deck. This will be our last card. I just heard, nope, Micah Magic will be our last. What is the name of this deck? I forget the name of this one. Gateway Oracle is this one. That's what it looks like. My friend Elisa gave this one to me. Thank you, Spirit. That was cool. Dwelling in truth. I stand in the light of truth. So this is kind of like that divine masculine, divine feminine energy. Like when they have this realization that, oh my gosh, I want to be more than friends with this person. Like they're finally sitting in the truth of who they are, where they're meant to be. Their heart chakra has now opened. They're in the moon card. They're feeling their emotions and they're loving you so much and they want to be with you. They're sitting in the truth of their reality of what is best for them. Okay, let's end with some Micah Magic. I feel guided to spread these out, but there's like not a ton of space. So we're gonna make some space. And I've been sitting on my left leg this whole time. It's a little tight. Okay. Money is on the way. Love that. Who doesn't love that? And also, I just got a message to tell you, and a good friend said this to me the other day, like, if you're stressed about money and if you're really trying to manifest a ton of money for yourself, really ask yourself, like, why? Why do you feel like you need this? Is it really going to bring you safety, or wouldn't you rather feel safe knowing that you're okay with or without it? But then maybe when you do want it, you're like, all right, I want to travel, I want to help people. That's a good thing. But really make sure you're not trying to manifest money from a place of, I need this to feel safe. I need this to do my mission. You don't. You can do your mission without money. But also know that every step of the way, you're going to get your needs met. You know, if you need $1,000 to start something, it will come. If you need $100 for something, it will come. And sometimes if we, are trying to manifest millions, if you have millions, you're never going to learn those lessons because you're just always going to have the money. So a lot of times on the spiritual path, we don't manifest those large amounts because spirit wants us to learn the deeper message that we can fully trust it. And we know that they're always going to provide for us. And sometimes we can't experience that unless we go without it. Okay, we have sit tight. Things are being moved for you. It's an emotional time. Be gentle with yourself. So there's that moon card coming through again. But sit tight. Money is coming. That's what I see that as saying. Double confirmation, a windfall of money. Manifest more for yourself. Yep. So once you learn that lesson, that you don't need money to feel safe. You feel safe in your vessel on your own. You have freedom. You're not doing your vices. You feel grounded. Now, when that money comes to you, that windfall, you're going to make grounded choices with it. You're going to be like, all right, I'm not going to over celebrate this. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to put it away. I'm going to save it. I'm going to donate some of it. I'm going to do good things with it. A rainbow is a sign. Yes. It says rainbows are a sign that your happy endings are coming soon. So when you start to see rainbows, spirit is saying in the specific reading that money is on the way. Last card. This is too funny. Can you guys guess what it is? Why else would I be laughing so hard? The frog. Now I know why I was meant to use the Micah Magic deck last. Frog spirit is saying take a vacation. I put on my frog today. How funny is that? Okay, spirit, you're too good. I love you. That one, and then the grief card with the frozen heart and the ice melting or the tears. Those two were my favorite moments of this reading. Too good. Too many synchronicities. I love life. This is so fun. Please always follow your nudges. Always follow your highest joy, because if I didn't follow my highest excitement to do this reading today, we wouldn't have experienced this joy. We wouldn't have had this good laugh together. You wouldn't have gotten the messages about your loved ones and that you're a warrior. And that if you've had to witness people dying and loss and grief and illness and all the icky things the human experience brings us, if I didn't follow my nudge, we wouldn't have had that experience together. So please follow your nudges. You might be bringing messages to people that you weren't even aware of, that you were capable of doing. So get your butts out there, start that YouTube channel, start the podcast, write the book, do the thing. We need you. Other people, there's a whole audience waiting for you, wanting your message. Okay? please, please, please honor yourself and trust that. And when you get rid of all the vices, you're clear now and you can really get the good direction that you need. And if you need help, I love doing one-on-one readings with you all. You don't have to sign up for the mentorship. You can if you want, but I do an 8-week mentorship where I guide people to learn the spiritual path and how to co-create and how to get their gifts out there. But even I love doing like random one-on-one readings. Like we just book a reading once, I send you on your way and your life changes dramatically. It's wild how that happens. And lots of people, to be honest, lots of people manifest money after they meet with me. I don't know if it's Micah's magic or what, but we just have a cool frequency of money with us, where people feel invigorated and then they learn how to co-create it for themselves. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Expect your windfall of money soon. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace out.